I mean, I just don't know if I can do it. I'm just not sure if I can defeat the atheist. I mean, is it really even all that important to defeat the atheist? Couldn't we just have a nice talk?
Oh, you will defeat the atheist because you'll say that you will.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of nervous about the whole thing. I'm not going to have Cy here and to help me, and Alex is going to make me close all my other browser windows, and he doesn't want me to have an iPad or anything where I can communicate. I don't even think he's going to allow me to go to the bathroom during our discussion.
You must repeat yourself repeatedly, using repetition over and over and over and over again.
Do you think it's really going to work? If I just keep saying over and over and over again that he's been refuted? I mean, surely he's smart enough to know that that's not a refutation, and well, what about all the people watching?
If at first you don't succeed, add infinitum. If that doesn't work, add some more. The atheist cannot withstand infinitum.
Hey, obviously I'm just poking some fun here. I watched the entire Alex Botten and Bible Thumping Wingnut Google Hangout. And I have to say I was not really impressed with either performance, and it's obviously easy to be critical, and I'm not really, I don't mean to be critical personally. I just think that, you know, it was obviously very adversarial, and Tim did seem to be quite nervous. I mean, I was poking some fun in the early part of this video, but a lot of it's based on fact, right? It's based on what actually happened. And, you know, there was some condescension involved and whatnot, and I don't know the whole history between Tim and Alex, but it just got me thinking a lot about civil discourse. And, you know, Tim said quite a few times during the debate that, or discussion, whatever it was, that he didn't even really want to be doing this, and he told Alex that. Well, that's a bit goofy. I mean, if you don't want to do it, you just don't do it. Don't do it and then say, I don't want to be doing this the whole time. But it made me wonder, you know, are these discussions really all that much about, like, winning? Are you going to win an entire argument about worldviews in a couple of hours? I mean, if it were that easy, it would have been done already, right? So at some point, do we want to engage in some civil discourse and just have a chat? Or are we going to be just adversarial all the time? And I understand, you know, don't get me wrong, when it comes to public policy and things that are going to, what I think, you know, potentially harm other people, I'll be there ready to go toe-to-toe with the next guy. But, you know, these are the slow process, these kind of discussions. These are the slow creeping process of hopefully bringing rationality to the forefront. And I just don't understand why we can't have more civil discourse. And it makes me wonder, and this is a question I wanted to ask everyone who's watching this. Do you think that Tim would have been better served if he'd have just come into the discussion and with just as an open book and just said, lay it on me, and make some counterpoints, but just say, yeah, tell me what's changed. I mean, obviously Alex's position going into it is that his position has changed, and there's nothing wrong with that. If we as a species hadn't done that many times over the course of our history, reformulating our position based on new evidence, where would we be? That's the whole point of the scientific method, obviously, is we recalc at some point, right? We decide, hey, time to recalculate. And as I've mentioned before, I do think it's a little bit ironic that the people who believe in the redemptive power of Christ won't allow a fellow human being to redeem himself, to say, hey, I've looked at my view critically and I've reformulated. I think I've corrected some errors. Have a look. Tell me what you think. You're not going to leave convincing the other person, so why be so adversarial? You're not going to rewrite everything in 2 hours. It's just not going to happen. I don't know. I've said before that I don't want to get bogged down in the theist-atheist discussion too much longer. I have made my videos on the presuppositional apologetic. I think I've given my contributions to that discussion. I'd like to move on to other topics. Maybe the thing for me to do is just to damn well do that and leave the theistic discussions until maybe something earth-shattering happens. I don't know. I have to say I was really disappointed in the discussion. You know, and there's lots of little tactics that really bother me. You know, things like cheap shots, I guess. You know, like when you run the Google Hangout, you kind of know the other person's probably going to click out before you, right? I mean, they're there for a couple hours, and then the wingnut carried on, and then he makes a video talking about how Alex clicked out, you know. Well, guy's got to leave sometime, you know, no you hang up, no you hang up, you know. Guy's got to leave sometime. It's not like he left 15 minutes in because he couldn't answer one of your questions, or he got you know, confused or just rage quit. That's not what happened. He engaged with you for a couple hours. Okay, time to go. You know, if after a couple hours you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, and you've repeatedly had someone just keep bringing back your history, bringing back your history, bringing back your history, yeah, I can see leaving too. So this kind of cheap shots or something that bothers me. You know, same thing. Tim made a video talking about the self-awareness, and instead of going on the attack, you just say, well, you know, unpack that further. You would have been a lot better served by saying, well, wait a minute, what did you mean by that? How do you reconcile what you've just said, that we may not even know that we're self-aware, with your previous answer to my question? And that's, you know, something that I found a little bit disingenuous when Tim was made a video where he highlighted Alex saying that he doesn't even know if he's self-aware. But if you go back, you know, in time before that 1 minute 50-second timestamp, if you go back to 1 minute 47 or 1 hour, 47 minutes, something like that, Tim had asked Alex when he became self-aware, and Alex tried to explain that he wasn't sure, that it's a process. Somewhere when he was a child, he became self-aware. It doesn't happen all at once, etc. He kind of left that out of the video where he talked about Alex saying that we might not even be self-aware. And I think you'd have been better served to say, well, what do you mean by that? How could you reconcile that we may not even be self-aware with your previous answer to my question of when you became self-aware? Something's not computing here. Explain this to me. You'd have left the discussion with more knowledge yourself, more information, more of an understanding of your opposition's position, because you're not going to change it in that hangout. And, you know, let's not forget there are people watching, and a lot of them are silent. They don't comment, they don't make videos themselves, and they're just watching the argumentation. And I think it's important to have a clear, rational argument, have some civil discourse, and maybe even part as friends. I don't know. It's sad to me. It's one of the things that's always saddened me about these discussions, is they have a tendency to divide people. They're divisive discussions. And I keep seeing, you know, like Cy Ten Bruggencate will say to people all the time, I think outside of this, you know, we could be friends. And I don't know how that would be possible. And I like everybody. I'm one of these kind of people that I get along with pretty much everybody, but these issues are pretty divisive, I think. And it's sad that we can't have, you know, a civil discourse. I mean, I guess it is made more difficult when you get into the public space. That's where the boots hit the ground, obviously. I don't know. I'd like my subscribers to weigh in on this. What would you like to see me do? I probably have more things to say on a lot of the theistic discussions. I hope that I can add my whole position here. My reason for coming to YouTube was I thought that I could add the everyday guy's rational viewpoint on things. I'm no deconverted man. I don't know all the logical fallacies, and I don't know all the proper logical argumentation. But I feel like because of the way I in particular think, and because of my vocation, and the fact that I am just an average guy, that I can relate to people sort of on that level. But if you want me to bail on that stuff, I can, I'll do that too. I will get into the other topics, the secular morality, child raising, self-esteem. I've got a video that I've been trying to record for the last couple nights, and I just haven't liked any of the takes. I've probably spent, I don't know, 3 hours a night for the last couple of nights trying to record a video that just hasn't happened yet. And I'm really hoping I can pull it off, because it's I think it's an uplifting topic, and I think it's something that can actually add something, hopefully for someone, just a way of viewing things. And so maybe I'll try and get that done. But please let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see me do for videos from this point on, and I'll take it all under advisement. I know not everyone's going to agree. I'll take it all under advisement, and it's probably bedtime now. I know I'm rambling, so I'm going to sign off, and I'll upload this sucker tomorrow. Thanks very much for your patience, and thanks for watching.